Obviously, I know people are still filing in. So proud of our team. So proud of, there was a long list of adversity throughout that football game, dating back to last week. All our guys do is continue to believe in each other, and we're going to continue to improve as a football team. But for us to be at our best when it was required and play complementary football the way we did to finish it, it's good to have that feeling. Both times we've been at US Bank Stadium against a divisional opponent now, we've come back into the locker room to some feelings of really understanding that we believe in each other, we believe in our team, but that we can continue to improve and be at our best moving forward. But I'm so proud of our guys. Unbelievable to have our legends in town this weekend, be around our team, and as I told those guys last night, never underestimate their power and their influence to, be what our guys may need to see their camaraderie, how together they are still years and years and years later. The great history of our team, we got a lot to play for, including those guys. We got a lot to be proud of. But first and foremost today was about those players in there. Great day for our a lot of guys on our team who needed to step up, and like I said, a lot of things we'll do better and need to work on, and we got a tough task ahead with a good football team, obviously in London.
Will a comeback win like that have some carryover effect for this team?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's one thing to rep a lot of those situations in practice. It's one thing, to do it in competitive ways when you can, but to do it at home with our great fans, just being that extra edge that we needed there late. But, give them a lot of credit. They did some things defensively that, caused us to kind of have to alter, our plan that we came in with, especially in the passing game. I thought late Kirk was, fantastic on that final drive, able to execute some things that, quite honestly, we didn't necessarily have up on the call sheet, but we found a way to, go out there all 11 and execute. And thought the O-line had a huge final sequence there, giving Kirk time to attack there. KJ obviously showing up huge.
Kirk uses a lot of receivers, and he did again today. He always says that I see open players, not numbers.
Yeah.
Is that what we saw today?
Yeah, I think it was a combination of a couple things. Kirk did a great job, keeping his eyes up, reading coverage. They were doing some things schematically, obviously, to take away Justin, and we'll continue to have tools at our disposal to try to counteract that. Obviously, but they did a good job defensively. I thought there was a few competitive plays that could have gone either way as far as possibly, a grab or a tug, the way technique-wise they were playing. But ultimately, when our guys needed to, they overcame that. They overcame, at times us not having the cleanest execution, but situationally when it mattered for Kirk to do what he did and lead that group. I think that says a lot about our football team, and then love the way we closed it out with Metellus making that pick.
Kevin, what were your thoughts on the defense? They gave up a decent amount of yards, but they kind of stepped up at the end when they had to.
They really did. You'd like to think over the course of that kind of fourth quarter and when we were able to get the drive to make it 24-21, you'd like to think we wouldn't need another one or another defensive stand without having the lead, and they were obviously able to. We went for it on that fourth down. Obviously liked the look there, but, didn't get it done offensive, but understanding the defense is going to pick you up. We might not have any timeouts. We might have to cover a lot of ground in a short amount of time, but we've got just the guys to do it, and our quarterback did a great job taking us down the field.
Kevin, did it look like at some point you had a conversation with Justin on the sideline? Was he frustrated?
Well, it's just one of those things with great players, in this league and the coaching that goes on. They do things to try to take away what you do best. And, I think the way we were able to run the football, the way we were able to get, Adam and KJ and some of these other guys ops in the passing game is because of Justin Jefferson dictating a lot of coverage, dictating how runs are fit, dictating how they play on the edges. So Justin had a huge impact on this game. It just didn't show up in the stat sheet, but that's not good enough. That's not good enough. I've got to do a better job giving Justin, different, aspects of lining up in different spots, different personnel groupings, whatever I need to do to help him because he's an ultra competitor, and we'll get him going. But, the first guy celebrating with KJ Osborne when he scores that touchdown is Justin Jefferson, and he's a great teammate. Although he doesn't have a C on his chest, I know our guys view him as one of our leaders, and we relied on him today to maintain and just keep on pushing. And I have a lot of respect for how Justin handled today, but put it on me to obviously do a better job getting him open.
You mentioned how you had a lot of things late in the game that weren't necessarily on the call sheet. What got you to the point where you had to kind of reach in your back pocket, so to speak?
Yeah, I think it's that combination that a week ago I didn't do a good enough job staying true to who we want to be from an offensive philosophy standpoint. And then I thought the way our defense was playing, especially in the second half, that we could stay in our normal offensive rhythm while still trying to get some chunks. And then kind of late there, we didn't have any timeouts left. I knew that I didn't want to be in a situation where we kind of dinked and dunked and, hey, get up on the ball, go fast, and all of a sudden we're playing to try to, I wanted to score. I wanted to score a touchdown. I wanted to win this football game in front of our fans in regulation, put maximum pressure on those guys. The way, quite honestly, they did a lot of the day with just how gritty and tough of a football team that is. But that's when you just have to continue working, put your head down. Adversity is only going to be, one snap away in this league for you individually, collectively, per side of the ball. And you just got to meet the moment and rely on your leadership and trust the guys around you in those huddles to get it done. And that's what I think you saw today. But there'll be some moments that we'll be able to go back and look on and think that we could have, had some earlier success in some critical moments as well. So we got to get better from it.
So was that even a thought process you have before that final drive, play for field goals, try to score a touchdown, or are you just like, that isn't even entering?
It obviously is, and knowing I got all the confidence in Greg in the world, knowing that we put him out there for 254-plus yarders, I think, and he'll continue to knock those in. My confidence will not waver in Greg, and everybody in that locker room feels the same way. But I did know, if we could manipulate some things and kind of get KJ or potentially Adam running, I knew we could protect with the way our guys were protecting up front. That we could possibly get some explosives and at least put that pressure on them to kind of not be dictating to us. And we got them kind of on their heels a little on that drive, and defense was able to come out and get a stop with that remaining time.
I apologize if you've already answered this, but
all good.
Dalvin Cook, do you know what his situation is?
Yeah, no, I have not answered that. And Dalvin just had a little bit of a shoulder deal that kind of came up on that fumble. Unfortunate with him being 3 yards away from his first 100-yard day. I thought he played phenomenal. I thought Alex was really, really solid. Those kind of 1-2 punch that we have. But he'll be day-to-day. We'll run some tests. We should have some time to hopefully get him turned over, and he's already told me after we scored, I asked him how he was doing. He said, I'll be out there next week. Now, we'll do what's best for, obviously, Dalvin and make sure that Tyler and Uriah and our doctors make those decisions. But what a competitor, and really proud of the work he put in today and knowing that we would come back to him after not getting him the rock enough last Monday.
After the Metellus interception, it looked like you and Ed kind of
Yeah.
So what was behind that?
Well, he was pretty fired up, and I was too. I just wanted to tell him how proud I was of him and his guys, and I know they wanted to get that ball back to end the game. So it was fun to see him like that there. Still pretty sore, old man. Still got a little strength to him. So, but no, you could just feel the emotion of the whole stadium, understanding how important it was for us to persevere and rally. And like I said, unbelievable effort by our fans today. When we had to have it in those critical moments, you felt them, right where they need to be, and we're going to need that, as many times as we get to play at this stadium this year.
What did you think of how many times the Lions went for it on fourth?
Yeah.
But then were you surprised that they tried the 54-yard field goal at the end when they've been going for it so much on fourth down?
No, I think that a lot goes into those decisions. We went for it a couple times today as well, and I think you're just constantly managing, what's more important. Getting those points right there, possibly giving us a short field where a field goal could be, within reach, and then maybe we could be more aggressive or try to go for it and end the football game, on the grass. And I think it probably tempted him a lot to try to go for it in that moment. But just a huge credit to our defense getting that stop and then feeling like we had a chance to go win that football game regardless.
Does that stop give you momentum?
It's they either get that stop or there's no use in momentum anymore because the game's probably going to be over. But I think you felt it, and you felt those defensive guys coming off. They feel like they're letting our offensive guys going on the field. Hey, now's the time. And I think when you can respond in those moments, when you look at one another, and this is it. This is when you either go win the football game or you don't. When you come back in with a victory and know that we earned every bit of it against a good football team, I think there can be some real growth moving forward and belief, if and when that inevitable adversity hits again.
What's it like to see Josh get his hands on the ball right before the interception too, and then just the way that he's kind of worked his way up, special teams was ready for the moment?
Yeah, for sure. I thought EK was going to get that one there as well. But, I got a lot of confidence in our defense in those moments. We situationally prepared this football team in a way that I think we feel very comfortable in those 2-minute moments, those end-of-game situations on both sides. When Josh made that interception to end that thing, got a little pressure there to move him off the spot. But Jared Goff, I thought he played really well and kind of was a real challenge, and they've got great skill and able to run the ball. So that's a tough outfit that we're going to have to see again, obviously in Detroit. But got a lot of respect for that team over there, and one of the reasons why I'm so dang proud of our guys for beating a good football team. When we had to come from behind.
Speaking of situationally, did you at the end of the first half did you want a delayed game there with the ball?
Yeah, I think we all saw that. Not to reference that Cowboy 49er game from last year's playoffs, but there was a feeling with this crew of that being some relevance to them in this game, and I think they were worried about the functioning of which they did. They did a great job. We're going to get that ball set, but I did see something pretty blatant on that one that makes it a little hard within the rules to get that ball clocked, but. That would have been another opportunity for Greg to possibly knock in a field goal and get 3 right there. Thought I liked the way we were aggressive there. We get the screen early on, then Kirk hits a couple things there, and we kind of got the ball across the 50, and 1 second too much with how that play played out. But we'll have to improve and really coach our guys off of that that's a real possibility that the other team can knock the ball out of your hands, and somehow it won't be a penalty.
Were you thinking field goal there?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I was going to. I know Greg had missed a couple long ones, or at least one at that point. I'm going to continue to give him long opportunities, especially in those moments where I do think that's a little bit more of a high percentage play to let him turn one loose than a Hail Mary at that point.
Any more questions?
Yeah, what did you see from Kirk there? This is the first time you've seen him come back and help win a game.
Yeah, just resilient. I think there were some plays in there where he showed incredible grit and toughness and made some real plays. We didn't always, convert. We didn't always make the play. There was a couple, I think back on, we had KJ one time down the sideline, a couple shots there to Adam where it's just competitive, good football. And then obviously there was one, I believe, to Irv as well off of a play pass kind of on a 1st and 10 when we were moving it pretty good. Where we'll continue to our execution level when we're locked in, dialed in, all 11, we'll know it when we start those ops start being, positive plays for us each and every time. But as far as Kirk Cousins goes today, the toughness, the mental toughness to just keep playing, just keep leading, relying on the other 10 guys in the huddle, but leading that group out in front, ready to go win it in the end. I think there's a lot to come, a lot to be taken out of this game positive for Kirk and our offense. In addition to a lot of things we can do better.
I'll say to you that Zadarius, after going down there, stays in the game.
Yeah, he's he knows those are his moments. When we get the lead, chance to go finish it in that 2-minute, he's going to give it everything he's got. Luckily, he was down there for a play and then able to come back in there and be a part of getting the rush on Jared on that last play. So we got tough guys. We got guys that love playing for one another, playing for each other. Days like this are where you can really feel, the special part about what we're building, and then also understand that, there's a lot we can do better to not make it so hard on ourselves sometimes. But once again, give credit to the Lions. That was a heck of a football game. Just glad we came out on top.